He'd been top 10, dead or alive, and ran away with the preacher's wife. He wouldn't apologize, had too much pride in his whiskey, was 100 proof. He'd been knocked down, drugged through the mud, painted the town with his own blood. He'd crow at the sun when it come up like a rooster on the roof. 100 years before I was born, somewhere out in the Wild West, a cowboy was roaming around on an Appaloosa with leopard specs. He had a bandolier strapped across his chest and a gambler's hat set atop his head. A Smith & Wesson was his prized possession, and whiskey seemed to stay on his breath. A rattlesnake got him on the leg, and he lost his eye to a grizzly. He skinned them down and he cooked them up, and they turned out extra crispy. The Cheyenne, he shot a man for colluding with a young missy, and he left him there in his cheating chair and never returned to the city. He could rope and ride about all his life, and his tumbleweed stayed sticky. He liked to pack it tight in his corncob pipe and smoke it down in a jiffy. He saw the inside of every swinging door if it was west of the Mississippi. And in a rowdy crowd, he'd run his mouth and hand out pistol whippings. He'd been top 10, dead or alive, and ran away with the preacher's wife. He wouldn't apologize, had too much pride in his whiskey, was 100 proof. He'd been knocked down, drugged through the mud, painted the town with his own blood. He'd crow at the sun when it come up like a rooster on the roof. Always a hell yeah, the yeehaw, ahead of the competition. His quick draw was the pitfall for fellers at the end of the history. He was the baddest son of a smoking gun that ever did touchdown in Bisbee. He was a wanted man in Tombstone, Deadwood, and Dodge City. He liked robbing things like banks and trains and shooting men down for a living. It wasn't nothing but a little bit of pocket change and a lifetime trained on the trigger to be a good guy with a bad side. Everybody's hero turned villain, and all it took was a cold look to get the spurs on his cowboy boots to start spinning. It was 10 paces in a showdown before you face your man and draw, and he'd line them up like railroad tracks, cock the hammer and then let it fall. We wanna thank it all, cause after all, he's what you'd call an outlaw. He seen the sky at its darkest blue after smoking up the streets in a poker brawl. Don't call the law if you love him, what he holler out in public for the pallbearer splinter his paws on a rough pine box with somebody inside with a hole in the head and the back of it bald. He'd been top 10, dead or alive, and ran away with the preacher's wife. He wouldn't apologize, had too much pride in his whiskey, was 100 proof. He'd been knocked down, drugged through the mud, painted the town with his own blood. He'd crow at the sun when it come up like a rooster on the roof. He could pick them all off for the rest he sawed off and blow him through the winter like a pack of Pall Mall. He never knew the word pause and never used the word quit, and when the sun came up, it was something to get. From the cradle to the crib, through the truth and the grit, he kept an ace in the hole in the wind at his six. Bouncing on a wagon with a flag and he was sipped off. Pep my dog. He grumbled with curled lips. His mustache and beard was literal white tips. He moseyed with a gait like he was wide in the hips. He kept his pistolas rolling on his fingertips, and he would let them ring out like a midnight revere. With an earshot or near, bulls became steers, men became boys, and the noise became clear. The older Dewey Lester done ruffled a bunch of feathers and riled up the heifers like crookedly hung mirrors. Top 10, dead or alive, and ran away with the preacher's wife. He wouldn't apologize, had too much pride in his whiskey, was 100 proof. He'd been knocked down, drugged through the mud, painted the town with his own blood. He'd crow at the sun when it come up like a rooster on the roof.